Howdy. So my name's Matt, and this is Anything Roam channel where we do anything roam. We work on our vehicles so we can roam anything. So right now I'm working on the diesel tow pig, and I've got some parts all laid out right here. So these are the brackets that go on the bumper for the front of the diesel, and I took them off, gave them a light little bath. I don't really have time to paint them, but you don't see them really, and they're not in horrible condition. I live in Texas, so we don't have any salted roads, we don't have any snow, so this truck's 20 years old and it barely has any rust. No cab corners, none of that's any rusted. It is a 2002 7.3 liter diesel. It's a two-wheel drive Lariat, and so if you're looking at what it's going to take to remove and replace the bumper on the front end, this may or may not be the video for you. It's not really an instructional video. It's more of a get comfortable on camera and know what I'm doing video, because the whole reason for this intro is I lost the intro.
Okay, I think I know where the footage went, because this is the second reshot of this reshot of the intro that I've lost. I'm just going to give a quick overview of what it took to take this front bumper off, and then that's a little bit of your instructional portion right there. So what I had to do is I had to take off all 4 bolts from around these tow hooks on each side. And the reason is these 2 technically hold the bumper on, and these 2 technically held the trailer hitch on, but they were using them all to hold the trailer hitch on, or that's just how it's supposed to be, and I put it back how I wanted it to be, which was put these 2 bolts over the trailer hitch mounting portion, and I put these 2 bolts over both the trailer hitch and the front bumper mounting brackets, where the mounting bracket just rests over the top of these 2 bolts here. And I did that because if I ever have to take this bumper off again, I want it to be a little bit easier. Instead of having to unmount the whole bumper and the whole trailer hitch and get all that off of there and figure all that out again, I just mounted it like this, so it would just be 4 bolts instead of 8 bolts. And honestly, these are impossible to get to, or nearly impossible to get to. So with that being said, let me show you. There's a bracket over here. You're just going to take one of these bolts out so that you can take the bumper off. The bracket will come with the bolt, and you don't have to worry about that. Now, there's plenty of instructional videos online, so don't take this one too literally. Like I said, it's not necessarily an instructional video, just how I'm doing it, or how I did it technically. But let me show you how that bracket goes, and I want to get out of this 40-degree weather, and we'll cut back to the 65 and sunny that I had. Alright, so since it's a little dark outside, there's one bolt right there on the tab that mounts to the lower frame and mounts to the top part of the frame here. You don't have to take any of that mount off. The only thing you have to do is take off that one bolt right there, and this whole bracket will come with the bumper. So that's it. 4 and/or 8 bolts on the front, depending on what you got going on up there. 2 bolts, one on this side, one on the passenger side. And that's it, you're good to go. Bumper should come right off with a little bit of negotiation. And there's our win.
We interrupt this interruption to bring you some lost footage. I forgot to mention that I wrestled with these hitch mount tabs, which I found on the internet for about $60, and I'll link them below.
Look at that. Twisted up like a damn tornado.
Then I finally got the bumper off and was able to start disassembling it, starting with the air dam, then the mounting brackets. Of course, my power tools died. Then I got to work on the marker lights while Kitty sat and stared hopefully at the back door. Now back to the show.
I don't know if I accidentally deleted it. Kind of working with some rough editing techniques and things right now, so it's okay. It's all part of a learning process. Actually thoroughly enjoying it. It's a nice challenge. It's fun to do. It's hard to put yourself on camera and talk and then publish it. I mean, you know, God, we all know what the haters are like. So If you want to hate on me, go ahead, get started right now. This is how we're going to do it. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just kind of jump back into it. Give you a little bit of update on where we're at, and then dive into the footage. So come with me. All right, you join me in the junkyard, the graveyard, scrap pile, whatever you want to call it. Got stuff all over the place over here. So hopefully that's how this channel will survive, me having too many projects. So here's our bumper. Took off. Normal, 20-year-old, chrome fading, never been polished. Couple of poles. Yada yada. A wall. I'm not sure what that was. So, with that being said, and this is our new one. I can already see, it's almost like the plating didn't set right here. So, really, my thought process is this will go on for however long. We've got some paint correction and some body work and some bed lining to do. So once that gets done, maybe we'll bed line a strip of this on the top if it's rusted out, because I've seen where these replacement bumpers right here will start to get surface rust and like flake off and chip off from the finish, I suppose. But our valance is okay. I'm hoping that a little bit of heat will help me pop this back out. Oh, don't fall on me. Yep, it's gonna fall on me. There we go. What I've done is I've added a couple of marker lights along to the air dam at the bottom. Since we've already got the bumper off of everything, what I'm gonna do is I've got to reattach the bolts for the trailer hitch. This one I already did with one, and we've got three more, excuse me. So we've got new nuts with nylon washer inserts so they won't back off. Oh, sorry, one more thing. So I took all the clips and stuff off and soaked them with WD-40 PB blaster and stuff like that. I just got a nice concoction in there. So these are all our clips that we need, so I'm gonna have to put all those onto this bumper here. And then we're doing those marker lights run directly off of the parking lights from the truck. So we're gonna run a relay. It's a fused relay, and we're gonna run with some heat shrink because that's my favorite now. And we're gonna run it off of the lights so they'll come right on. So anyway, let's get going. So I don't know. I understand why they did this, but I can't go back to this because I only have 2 of these. So I've got to go ahead with the hard way. It was only like this with those tabs at the back, and so what I'm doing is I'm going to add a washer to the back side, and it'll go on like this. Oh no. Hot dog. All right, let's move on to this one. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna play a little game here. Sure that nut gets stuck in there. go. See? I ain't completely useless around here. Last one. Alright, let's see if this will work. One more again. Okay, I have a long task of putting this bumper together. So let's get it done.
Run away, I don't have to plan it. I can go change my fate, you won't understand it. All alone, that's okay. People I can't stand them, they don't want me to change. Keep me where I'm standing, and I don't wanna be where I am. And I want something more, take a chance. It could be possibly my last dance.
I'm really happy I soaked those bolts overnight. They're still giving me trouble. Only 3 extra pieces. We did pretty good. Tell you, I know one goes there, one goes there. I'm not taking these mounts off again. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to pull the turn signal parking lamp. We're going to run a wire from it to our relay, run a wire from the battery to our relay, ground it all, do all the necessary hookups and wire tucking so this looks really nice, and then we'll slap this baby on. So I know that on this truck there's 2 ways that I could do this. Because this lamp stays illuminated, there's a wire that gives a solid signal or a solid current to stay on during the signal illumination. So I can either go off of that one, or I can come over here to our first side marker that we have on the truck, and I could run it off of that, because they're both going to come on when I turn the parking lights on. So they're both going to trigger the relay to pull power and turn on our new marker lights. So of course there's all kinds of spots that you can put a relay. I mean, basically find any open spot. Where the camera is now, it's kind of an open area on the truck already. It has a bunch of other wires running to it. I could go there, but for sake of saving a few feet of wire, I'm going to go right here. Okay, I had some other relays that were a little bit different, but what it has here is my blue. It's going to go to my battery. My white is my trigger source. My red is to my device. And the black is to the ground. So, I'm going to keep this over here for now. Can't be too careful. What I want to do is just double check real quick. Red is going to my device. So I'm just going to go ahead and match that with a red wire. I don't have any blue to the battery. But what I can do is, I like to try to color coordinate them, but it looks like what I'm going to have to do is just use some white, some red if I have it, some black for the ground, which I'll probably ground to the battery. Maybe. I've got some other spots around here that I could possibly ground to. There's actually a ground right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ground my relay. And and probably have it kind of laid in here sideways like this. And then I can just ground it straight up. I can most likely just pull power straight up, even though I don't really want to. I think I'll add a power jumper, possibly. Let's see. I only have 110. I'm not very hasty to pull it out. I like to try the other sockets first. So, this is a used piece of tape from earlier. What I'm going to do, just go ahead like this. Lightly tape it so it doesn't tap, accidentally arc, and we get a little bit of power. You've seen my other video. I did this once. I'll probably do it a few times, of course, just because. But you can't quite tell, but on the top one here, the wire lays all the way through. But on the bottom one, there's a stop. So what I like to do is just drill it out. Make sure you have your OSHA safety hands going when you do that, and get your safety squint. Ford did provide a handy little shelf here for me. So, yep, now that I got that wallered out like I want it, our power is probably going to be my last to hook up here.
While Recorded Me is busy looking for the right size wrench, I'll tell you that eventually I get the wire pulled down to the marker light, clipped into the positive side, and that's where we pick up.
Alright, so I'm not sure what the camera timed out on, but this wire has 12 volts, although I'm a big dummy and I pulled a red one and not a white one. So I'm not gonna, I don't even know. I'm not gonna mess with that. I'm just gonna put a piece of white tape on it and call it a day. Because I don't have time. I literally have 18 minutes left of recording time, so I'm going to try to hurry this up. So, get this out. There we go. Don't break the bulb. All this excitement. Okay, so we're going to jump through this hole here. If anybody has any sanity they'd like to loan me, 2 positive trigger. Yes, yes, I want that. So like I said, these are pretty cool. Drop them in there. Never seen something like that before. So I had mentioned I wanted to drop one of these bad boys on here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all of my wires through it. There we go. Get this one hooked up. Okay. I think we'll just pull some more red wire. And I'll just order some more red wire. I think that'll be best.
I ended up using some white and green trailer wire instead of the red, since it's the same colors that were coming off of the marker lights.
I'm going to put some zip ties on this and get it all cleaned up, but I'm going to pause the camera because I'm running out of time to film here. So, alright, so you join me. I have my wire pulled, but I have all of the excess. I haven't cut it yet because I'm going to pull it back some. Finally wising up. I have my big shrink to go over everything. My little shrink, not too little. Alright, we'll get some of this twisted. I know you guys probably don't love that, but that's how it's getting done today, man. Pull my ground out from being all twisted up. Oh man, look at that. Oh baby. I haven't trimmed any of my zip ties because I'm trying to hurry, but I promise as soon as I actually get done here, I'll trim them all up. Snips. So we got the kitchen scissors. Something sticky. 7 minutes.
If you have to pick up something heavy, don't ask for any help. Throw your back out. Be a man.
My goodness. Something got in my eye, man. That was really terrible. It's still burning. So anyway, so now I've got my wire down there. I'm going to make sure it's pulled back properly all the way. Here we are. Got our length. Get this pulled up through our
heat shrink. Okay, there we go. That's about as good as it's gonna get. And then we'll go like this. Put our heat shrink up on it. Just squeeze her real quick as well. No, I didn't crimp it. So that was a good job. You guys can see, probably better like that. So I've got my relay wired right here. Got my ground put in right there. There's actually a ground right there. It's probably from the headlight. So let me run and get a zip tie. And here's my power that I gotta hook up. So I'm gonna leave that to the side. Well, I could go ahead and drop that on. All right, got a small rat's nest 2.0. See one. Cool, man. All right, well, just a couple of small things to touch up and clean up, and that lower part of that plastic valance, I'm gonna hit it with a torch and see if that helps anything. And yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. If you don't mind liking, subscribing, and commenting, whatever you feel like doing. Can I make I'm trying to make an outro. Now you're standing right in front of the camera.
Oh!
All right, guys. See you next time.